Welcome to the H-Files. I am Mr. Anda, and in today's narrative, we delve into the themes of honor, sacrifice, feelings of betrayal, and redemption. This is an opportunity for you personally to engage in the extraordinary journey of real-life heroes and perhaps make a life-saving difference. As we journey through our great nation's picturesque towns and bustling cities, our eyes are met with the heartwarming sight of vibrant banners fluttering on the lampposts that line the bustling main streets. From these banners, the proud faces of our town's veterans beam back at us, standing as a solemn yet uplifting testament to their service, sacrifice, and unwavering dedication to our beloved country. It's truly a moving experience to witness the widespread outpouring of gratitude towards our veterans, as people from all walks of life take a moment to honor and express their heartfelt appreciation for these courageous men and women. However, it is crucial to recall that the present atmosphere of reverence and gratitude toward veterans has not always been the prevailing sentiment. In the not-so-distant past, upon their return from service, veterans were met with a shocking lack of recognition and support. Instead of being hailed as the heroes they undeniably are, they encountered appalling treatment. They were met with scorn, subjected to spitting, and even cruelly branded as baby killers. In some grievous instances, they faced physical assault. These brave individuals, who had put their lives on the line in defense of our nation, found themselves targeted with hostility and disdain. Their attire, once a symbol of service and sacrifice, became a potential risk. Commanding officers advised them to conceal their military identity for their own safety and recommended that they exchange their uniforms for civilian clothing. The uniform they wore while defending our nation and each other on the battlefield would now get them spat on, accosted, and sometimes even attacked by the very people they were trying to defend. For example, U.S. Army Major Craig Dunning demonstrated remarkable resilience during his service in the Vietnam War, enduring harrowing circumstances that tested his courage and determination, earning him 5 Purple Hearts, 4 Bronze Stars, and 2 Silver Stars in recognition of his unwavering bravery in the face of adversity. Reflecting on the challenging homecoming experienced by many Vietnam veterans, Major Dunning shared his distress at the negative reception they encountered upon their return to the United States. He candidly recounted the hurtful accusations and mistreatment, recalling how he and his fellow servicemen were unjustly labeled as baby killers and faced hostility, including having eggs and tomatoes thrown at him and the other 200 vets returning with him. Overcome with frustration, Major Dunning revealed his inner turmoil, expressing a sense of isolation and shame, emphasizing the inability of others to comprehend the daily struggles and sacrifices endured during their time in Vietnam. Major Dunning's emotional turmoil reached a point where he grappled with the harrowing effects of post-traumatic stress, leading him to a dark moment in which he attempted taking his own life. In a poignant plea to God, he beseeched, "Please let me forget," capturing the profound anguish he carried with him. Sadly, Major Craig Dunning passed away on February 20th, 2023, having no immediate family to mourn him. In response to this, his fellow Vietnam veterans came together to organize a poignant and heartfelt memorial service to honor his memory, ensuring that his legacy and sacrifices would never be forgotten. Danny Kelly, another Vietnam veteran, wrote the following. I returned in September 1969 and was in Atlanta, Georgia. I denied being a vet because I was repeatedly told that Vietnam vets had flashbacks and could freak out on the job. I was repeatedly asked how I could live with myself after harming all those innocent people. I dealt with being spit on by a hippie. I knew I could have broken him in 2. Being 21 and not being able to get a job, a date, a place to live, or a drink with other vets was the hard part. I still remember. Upon returning to New York City after completing his service in Vietnam in 1970, Phil Price, a proud veteran, found himself facing a deeply distressing incident. Filled with a mix of emotions from patriotism to weariness, Phil decided to stop by a local bar for a drink. However, as he approached the entrance in his Army uniform, he was confronted with a jarring sight, a prominent sign boldly declaring, "No soldiers allowed." This unwelcoming message left Phil feeling disheartened and disillusioned as he grappled with the realization that the very uniform he had worn with pride while serving his country had now become a reason for rejection and exclusion. Terry Topple, a courageous machine gunner from the 9th Infantry Division, made the arduous journey back to his home state of California after sustaining severe injuries in the heat of battle. His memories of their homecoming remain hauntingly vivid as he recounted the distressing ordeal they faced upon their arrival. Terry described how their return was marred by a barrage of rotten eggs and tomatoes hurled in their direction, a disheartening and degrading experience for soldiers who had already sacrificed so much. Instead of being greeted with gratitude and compassion, they were met with hostility and subjected to verbal abuse, leaving Terry and his comrades feeling like they were the enemy. The stark contrast to the warm reception that World War II veterans received only deepened the pain of their homecoming, emphasizing the stark disparity between their sacrifices and the reception they encountered. I could provide numerous additional examples, but you're starting to pick up what I'm laying down. These men, these courageous warriors, donned the uniform of the United States and engaged in a conflict they did not fully understand because their country told them to. Previous generations of men had fulfilled their obligations to our nation, and they recognized that it was now their time to step forward, pop tall in hell, and defend their homeland. They discharged their duties with dignity and honor. However, upon their return, America greeted them with nothing but scorn, mistreatment, disregard, disdain, and even hatred instead of being embraced with parades and warm receptions. Why am I bringing up such a dark national memory from over 50 years ago? A few years back, my family and I had the privilege of witnessing an incredibly touching event. I feel a strong urge to share this experience with you in the hope that it will resonate with you in the same way it did with us. This is a rare chance to connect with genuine American heroes, to be part of a cause greater than oneself, and to make a meaningful difference in a hero's life. There is an amazing program designed solely for our veterans, known as the Honor Flight. It is run strictly by nonprofit organizations, and this program is truly extraordinary. It is a heartwarming initiative dedicated to honoring our United States military veterans by providing them with the opportunity to visit the memorials dedicated to their service, located in Washington, D.C. This program began as a way to pay tribute to our World War II and Korean War veterans, ensuring that they could visit the memorials despite the challenges of age and travel at no cost to them. As time went on, the program expanded to include our Vietnam War veterans, offering them the long overdue recognition and welcome home they rightfully deserved. Witnessing these heroes finally receiving the appreciation and gratitude that was once denied to them is incredibly moving and highlights the profound impact of the Honor Flight program. In 2019, my family and I were fortunate to witness a truly extraordinary event. Prior to October of that year, I had never even heard of the Honor Flight. But that was about to change, as my father, Jim Hageman, and his close friend Gary Weimer, both veterans of the Vietnam era, were selected to participate in Honor Flight Mission 100, departing from Columbus, Ohio. The mission involved flying 200 Vietnam veterans, 5 World War II veterans, and 2 Korean War veterans to Washington, D.C., to visit the war monuments dedicated to their service. Little did I know this experience would be so much more than just a visit. We arrived at John Glenn Airport in Columbus at 5 in the morning, and as we stepped inside, my father was welcomed by a rousing parade of people clapping and cheering, expressing their gratitude for his service. Overwhelmed by this display of appreciation, I swiftly guided my family to the side, allowing my father to bask in the well-deserved honor being bestowed upon him. As he walked through the crowd amid thunderous applause, I observed more veterans arriving and being embraced with the same heartfelt recognition. Witnessing such genuine appreciation was immensely touching, and I can affirm that my wife, daughter, mother, and I all had tears welling up in our eyes as we took it all in. It wasn't long before my father found his best friend, Gary, and they were soon introduced to a wonderful lady named Brenda Rice, who would accompany them as their personal guardian throughout the journey. The moment these American heroes boarded their plane bound for the nation's capital, it was evident that they were in for a truly remarkable day. From the start, the outpouring of appreciation and support set the tone for what was to come. As the flight approached, we were notified that the veterans would be treated to a mail call on the journey home, and we were encouraged to write heartfelt welcome home letters for them. I knew that this small gesture would mean the world to these remarkable individuals. Brenda, the guardian of my father and his friend Gary, went above and beyond to ensure that their trip was nothing short of extraordinary. I'll pause here for a moment and let you witness the heartwarming footage of these heroes finally receiving the welcome home they deserved over 50 years ago. The program known as the Honor Flight is dedicated to reaching every deserving veteran and recognizing their sacrifices. There are still thousands of Vietnam veterans who haven't had the opportunity to participate in this program despite deserving it for over 50 years. If you would like to help a deserving veteran, consider talking to them about the Honor Flight program. Your local American Legion or VFW can assist you with the necessary paperwork. Even if this is all you can do for now, remember that you've helped at least one Vietnam veteran receive the recognition they should have gotten long ago. By doing just that little bit, you have eased a veteran's pain. If you feel that you want to do more, such as becoming a veteran's guardian, you can go online to your state's Honor Flight page and submit an application. It's that simple. Alternatively, if you prefer a more hands-off approach, you can write mail call letters to vets traveling on the Honor Flight. Your state's Honor Flight webpage will guide you on how and where to send your letters. I truly hope this video has inspired you to lend a hand, even if it's just to shake the hand of a veteran, say thank you, and welcome home. I wish you all the best, and look forward to seeing you next time. To all the veterans out there watching, I want to say thank you and welcome home.